Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, I'm Jack Berry, and I'm at the West Michigan Golf Show with Mike DeVries, who is the architect-designer of a course right here in Grand Rapids called the Mines. How did they get that way, Mike?
Well, it's over some of the former gypsum mines, which were active here in Grand Rapids from the 1860s up until about 20 years ago or so. And a portion of this land is where the golf course is. And this is over some of the older mining sections. And so there's less subsidence there. And it can't be used for other types of things. It could be a recreational area or something like that, but you don't want to put structures on it because of the potential for something to, over time, to...
Shovel too deep? Do you fall down to China or what?
Big bunkers, big bunkers. So...
What kind of handicap was that in working over these big mines?
It really wasn't anything at all. It's sand up above, and it was just forested. So there's a lot of mature forest, and it had this former mine usage. And actually, the owner Dan Schimmel down here in Grand Rapids is into sand and gravel, and it's a family business. And so actually, a lot of that sand, we had some extra sand hills. That sand was removed and is used for building fill and things in Grand Rapids and the structures that are down there. And ideally, it's only about 5 minutes from downtown. So that worked out really well from an economic standpoint and helped to pay for building of the golf course.
Well, you didn't have to borrow sand from anybody, did you? You didn't have to truck anything in there. not like Pete Dye over at the Whistling Straits.
No, yeah, that was $1 million something. I don't know. That was a lot. That was a lot of sand over there. Yes.
So what was it like for that course? Again, it's a public golf course, and so what are any different feelings when you design?
Yeah, it's a difficult property because it's broken up by a couple of roads. Well, there's a road on the edge, and Colville Road splits the property from east and west. Butterworth is on the south, and then there's a power line. There's a major power line stream that goes through there. So there's actually 4 parts of the property of about 200 acres, and one of those sections is in the future going to be a par 3 golf course, most likely, but they're still mining some sand out of there. And the other 3 sections, we have a full range and then the 18 holes. And so the difficulty was trying to get those to marriage together without, losing sort of your rhythm to the golf course. That's a bit difficult to do when you've got an area that's maybe 100 or 150 feet wide or more.
So what about those wires? Can you hit those? It seemed like the one.
Well, we don't play under them directly or anything, so that's not a problem. We sort of talked about that. We could. There's some good land there. We could have used some of that, but then you'd get into issues, and they're not the most attractive. But really, after a while, you don't really notice them because they are sort of screened for the most part, and you go by them, but it's not really that different. So.
How difficult is that course?
It's tough. It's people have said that's maybe my most difficult golf course because it's only a par 70, and there are several 4 long par 4s, and 3 of those play into the wind, and the standard wind.
Short par 5s.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, this is really tough, and so if you're way back.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of space, and it's friendly to the golfer too. There's only 36 bunkers, so there's not a lot of bunkers on the golf course.
Well. That's good then. You take away 2 par 5s. And
yeah, that's right. That's right. A number of actually bunkerless holes too that have no bunkers at all, but there's movement and undulation and there's character and interest that way too.
Well, it's got to be fun to have these different challenges, different terrains to work with. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you're getting a lot of nice Michigan sand.
Still with some good Michigan sand, and you don't think about that being right downtown, in a big city in a metropolitan area. feels like northern Michigan in a lot of ways, because we're sort of there's some homes on one side north of the golf course, and you see that from one hole or two holes, but they're not forefront. They're not right on the golf course like you think of a golf course development. It's an old neighborhood that's sort of pushed aside, and when you're that close to being downtown, it really makes for an interesting thing. If you want to get out, if you're working downtown and you want to go hit a bag of balls at lunch, you can do it. It's you don't really have that opportunity, and it's a full grass range, so you're not hitting into a net. You're not hitting into a net. So
now, if you got a par 3 there, well, I think they might be able to play a long lunch hour.
There you go. That's even better. That's one of the opportunities. Absolutely.
Terrific. I've been talking with Mike DeVries, who's the designer architect of the mines here in Grand Rapids, and Mike came down from Grand Rapids, from Traverse City, to do that golf course, and Mike has done courses all along the west side of the state. He's Mr. West Michigan from top to bottom. That actually start from the Upper Peninsula, from the Kingsley Club from Grey Walls to the Kingsley Club to Pilgrim's Run to the mines to Diamond Springs. Michigan has been good to Mike, and Mike's been good to Michigan.